Okay, like what Ingel has shared earlier, the recording will be shared with you all also, together with the link to the slide deck after this session. A quick rundown on Imacity before we jump into the sharing. Imacity is the Digital Marketing Institute who leads one of the top leading trainings on digital marketing contents in Singapore. Most of the courses are WSQ approved, course fee are heavily subsidized on SkillsFuture and NTUC UTAP eligible. So do check them out. Okay, so do check them out. I have put in a QR code over here if you would like to find out more about the type of Imacity courses that's offered, from digital advertising to TikTok advertising, video marketing to data visualization. Scan a QR code or just type in imacity.com and you can see the range of courses there. In regards to subsidies and fees, feel free to use the WhatsApp function. If you want to find out more, discuss with them what is the viable cost or the best cost you have in mind for your career upgrade or for your career switch or for your self-improvement. Okay, so a bit about myself before I jump into the 10 sharing. My name is YS, as shared earlier. It's been my 14 years this year in marketing. I work from over 50 plus industry. I think the actual number is much more. Caveat to that, I don't job hop 50 industries because I had my own agency, still running it, and then also work in agency. So we dealt with many different clients, many different verticals and industry while in agency. About 10 years ago, I decided to move into digital. I started getting my hands dirty on meta advertising back then, in the days whereby meta advertising is just so simple, I would say. It's just so simple. These days, you have 6 objectives, you have multiple formats, you have Reels, you have Messenger. Back then, it's so much easier to learn, but as we adapt along the way. My full-time hustle, I'm a senior performance marketing director at a global advertising agency network, the top 4 advertising network of the world. We handle MNC and top Fortune 500 brands for their advertising remit. I run my own consultancy and managed services, helping entrepreneurs and SME on their marketing ops. Certified management consultant, and also SSG certified educator. On the side, I run an e-commerce business and is a certified fitness trainer. So what is the takeaway for this evening? I'll be sharing 10 advanced tips on Meta campaign. I have grouped them into 4 different pillars for easier understanding. The learning will be quite summarized. This session is not meant for hands-on. We will not have time to go into each of the sharing to go through where to click and what to click to get to the relevant setting. If you really wish to dive into any of these setting after the course, after the sharing, feel free to drop me an email or sign up for one of the courses with Imacity, especially digital advertising or e-commerce. Later on, I will share the slides for the QR code scanning of the courses again. Ultimately, for any advertisers or for any brands out there, we want to achieve better return on our expense. So with that, so I break it into these 10 tips. I bucket into ABCD framework. A stands for audience, B, bidding, C, creative, and D, data. Okay, we'll be going through the we'll be going through the 10 different tips right now. At any juncture of time, if you feel like you're confused or if you have any question, feel free to just put into the group chat. Yeah. There will be also a session towards the end for Q&A. Okay, so let's first dive into the audience bracket. Okay, anyone heard of day parting strategy before? Day parting strategy. So my very first tip is on day parting strategy. Essentially what it means is instead of running your ads 24/7, run your ad on certain day and time of the week when you know that your audience are most responsive. Okay, I'll give a context. For instance, working parents, they likely will shop e-commerce on weekday nights and weekends. During working hours, it's unlikely they are able to shop with their mobile phone or laptop at work, right? Unless they are eating steak or what. But you get my point. Focus your ad budget on the timing and the days of week where your target audience is most engaged. If you have a limited amount of budget, you want to spend it for the highest ROI. You want to spend it on timing where it has the highest engagement. So implement day parting strategy. Focus your ad budget when audience are most responsive. Okay, you will be able to see when is your audience most responsive from your past ads. Okay, you will be able to break down in your ads manager the time of day and day of week to break down. What is the CTR at what hours? What is the engagement? What is the conversion rate like at what hour and which day? With that insights, they part your ads. Okay, they part your ads. What it basically means is on this table, Monday 12 to 6 p.m., Monday to Friday 12 to 6 p.m., my ad will not run. It will only run on weekday nights and the full of weekend. Okay, so get a competitive edge and ensure that your ads are switched on during the time where your audience is most engaged. So that is tip number 1. Okay, tip number 2, utilize audience exclusion. Okay, utilize audience exclusion. Many of us would have thought, okay, audience exclusion applies for our competitors. We do not want our competitors' stuff. We do not want our competitors to see our ads. I would like you guys to think one step further. Not only your competitors' staff and competitors, but your existing audiences also, your existing customer. Imagine a customer who bought from you yesterday, customer who bought from you 1 week ago. You constantly show the ads to them. It might frustrate them. So exclude not only your competitor, exclude recent customers also. Okay. And last but not least, this is not frequently used, but I definitely recommend exclude audiences who've seen your ads recently. Okay. For instance, we probably come across YouTube ads whereby you see that particular YouTube ads with crazily high frequency per day, per week. Okay, you've seen your YouTube video, it keeps repeating that particular ads to you within the same day or same week. Frequency control is bad. So for audience exclusion, I would recommend exclude your competitor, exclude recent customers of yours, and exclude audiences who recently engage with your ads. Okay, so you are able to then focus your ad spend on audiences who are able to bring more value to you rather than targeting competitor, targeting existing audience, or targeting audience who already seen your ads multiple times. How to do this is through custom audience creation. So that is on the audience tips. Moving on to bidding. For bidding wise, I think most of us are quite familiar with the auction buy. Okay, so auction buy. Okay, I would like you guys to be exposed to RNF, reach and frequency buy also. Okay, essentially auction buys are what we have been buying, or most of the companies has been buying. Auction buy, what it means is, okay, auction buys, what it means is it's real-time bidding. So at any point of time, you are competing with your competitors to get your ads served upfront to your targeted audience. RMF buy is a pre-booking. Okay. How it works is, example, I have 10,000 to spend for the month of, say, July. I will put in $10,000 and I will say I want to get a frequency of 2 times per week, and then Meta will return me the result, forecasted result. Okay, with $10,000, you can achieve, say, 1 million audience reach. You will achieve a frequency of 2 times per week and at what CPM. Okay, so that is reach and frequency by a guaranteed, almost close to guaranteed reach, quality frequency control. Okay, so when should we use reach and frequency buy, and when should we use auction buy? Typically, we choose RNF buy, reach and frequency buy, when you want more predictable ad delivery. Okay, you want control over the results of your ad delivery. X percentage reach, X frequency per week or per month. You want to have reduced pricing fluctuation. Okay, typically towards the last quarter of the year, especially November and December, you will see the price of advertising for digital platform will shoot up across the inventory. So in December, I'll highly encourage, if you know that you have certain X spend, secure those inventory with RNF. Secure them early with RNF so that you won't be competing with your competitors in December for on higher CPM or higher CPC per se. When do you use auction type buy? You use auction type buy when you are constantly making optimization to your campaign while the campaign is running. Okay, that I'll recommend auction buy. So to recap, auction buy when you constantly make changes for a campaign, use auction buy. Okay, if you want to secure inventory at a fixed price, especially during peak season, use RNF buy. Okay, moving on to number 4. Choose campaign objective for the intended result. I know that if I were to include this, sometimes I'll get blasted for saying, why do you include such a basic tip? As basic as it seems, it is one of the most critical tip that I like to share and reiterate. Choosing the right campaign objective will get you the right results. As a business owner, I will understand, I want awareness, I want traffic, I want conversions, I want loyalty. As a business owner, perfectly understand. As an advertiser, I will tell you, advertising doesn't work like this. Unfortunately, you have to choose one. Okay, you have to choose one. When we select, say, awareness, the CPM, the CPM cost for this will be low. Okay, when we select engagement of leads, our CPM will be at moderate. When we select sales, our CPM cost will be quite on the high side of things. Through the data the Meta collects, Meta is able to prioritize ads towards audience to achieve the objective that you selected. Previously, there's 11 objectives. Meta has shrunk it to 6 different objectives as of now. So always pair the right objective with the intended result. I know that earlier at the start of the session, one of you asked, your intention is to get leads, okay? But you want to run it awareness, okay? Your intention is to get leads, but you want to run it on awareness objective. Your question was, will you be able to get leads? Okay, in short, my answer is yes, but your offer and your ad creative must be very compelling. Okay, must be very compelling too. I'll give another example. Sales. Okay, imagine I have an e-commerce company, so I'm retailing watches. So for watches, instead of choosing sales for my Facebook campaign, I choose awareness. One way that I can get a lot of sales with awareness objective is, example, 90% off my product. It's very likely anyone who see my ad or the awareness, the kind of outreach that I have, coupled with the product offer, I will able to achieve sales even with awareness objective. Okay. So always try to choose the correct campaign objective towards your marketing objective or business objective. Tested and proven, it works the best. Okay, unless you have a very compelling product or campaign offer, then you can try the other cheaper CPM methods. Okay, what if say YS recommend to choose the right objective for the campaign, right? So you selected sales, but sales CPM YS said is very costly. What can we do in this case? So this is whereby we use our secondary optimization goal. For campaign in ad set, there's a section whereby we can set lowest bid cap or cost per result cap. What it basically means is how much are you willing to pay for per lead? How much are you willing to pay for per video view? How much are you willing to pay for per click to your website? So set that bid cap, set that result cap. Okay, utilize the function. Okay, of course, when you set the bid cap or the result cap, right, you know that you are getting a click on average, say Singapore at 20 cents, and you try to set it at 0.01 cent per click to your website, is likely you won't get that many clicks. Okay, you have to be competitive. This setting enables you to compete at a price point that you are comfortable with. Okay, but it should not be not competitive at all. Okay, so what should be the correct price point? I would say just use a test and learn method. If you see your current clicks or your current leads, example, you are getting it at $5 per lead, can try to reduce it by 10%, 450, set say 450. See whether you are getting more leads given the same amount of spend. Next, try another 10% lower, reduce it to 410. Okay, keep reducing it by 10% until you find a sweet spot whereby if you reduce it further, you realize there's too much budget to spend, but the campaign is not spending because you're not competitive enough. Okay, so optimization goal, highly recommend you all to utilize this function. Okay, tip number 6, test and learn advantage. The Advantage Plus features is Meta suite of AI. Okay, Meta suite of automation. In regards to Advantage, right, the AI feature, my recommendation is to test and learn. Okay, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes it works because of your campaign setup, because of your objective, because of your product life cycle. Sometimes it won't. Okay, so take recommendation by a platform by a pinch of salt sometimes, because it may not be contextual to your business. Okay, example, one of my clients, they have 3 countries of business, so Singapore, Malaysia, and Hong Kong. Okay, so we switch on Advantage campaign budget optimization for them. Instead of allocating fixed budget to each country, what Advantage campaign budget does is it will allocate on real time to the country that performs the best. What happens here was then all campaign budget moved to Malaysia because cost of advertising was on the cheaper side compared to Singapore and Hong Kong. But it may not be ideal for our client because they are looking more for customers from countries where they have more high net worth spend and more affluent spend, given it's a fintech investment platform. So in regards to AI, in regards to Advantage Plus feature, test it out, see whether it works for your business. Okay, AI might be good to automate workflow and heavyweight work, but it may lack business insight. So monitor how does it impact your business and adopt test and learn approach in relevance to your business. Okay, so that's the 2 pillar sharing, audience and bidding. Before I move on to creative and data, any questions on my sharing? I will do a recap again on the summary.
Yes, just now about your the sharing on number 5, the bidding. Yeah, so you say you reduce 10%, then it's like what frequency? Is it like reduce every 2 days or 3 days or 1 week?
So what's the campaign objective?
Yeah, just now the number 5 is utilize optimization goals, right?
Yeah.
So you say you can adjust it maybe like down 10% or maybe up 10%. So the adjustment is like daily or every 2 days, or how is it? Or how do you know when to adjust?
You mean how soon to adjust it? Okay.
Yeah.
It really depends on how. Okay, I hate to give the answer, but it depends because it depends on how much you spend and how big your pool of audience is. Example, if you are spending only $10 per day, then I would say wait for 4 to 5 days before you make any adjustment further. If you are spending 10,000 per day, I would say half a day is enough for you to make changes really.
Okay, so it's like some statistics, like maybe how many leads before you adjust, is it? Maybe like more than 50 leads before you do adjustment or something like that?
It really depends on your industry and depends on business. For instance, B2B client, they probably get 5 to 10 leads per week, but for B2C clients, they get 50 leads per day. So the benchmark should always be relevant to your industry and business instead of the industry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say you adjust down 10% and then it doesn't give you the result you want. So do you adjust back up 10%?
You adjust back up 5%. You try adjusting back up 5%.
After say like maybe like 4 days, let's say you spend like $10 a day. So after about 4 days, you adjust back up.
Yeah, you can adjust back it up after 4 days. But you can adjust it back up to 5%. You try to find a sweet spot try to find that particular sweet spot.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry that I answer it really depends. So try not to compare to your peers from other industry, especially say, oh, they always optimize after 1,000 impressions. Oh, they optimize after 50 leads. Always compare to your industry, your nearest direct competitor. I know that some best practice says, oh, you must target at least 1 million audience to reach a certain broad audience scale. It really depends on industry. Certain industry will never hit 1 million audience size in Singapore. Okay. There are some questions in the group chat, but not really related to my sharing. I'll probably take them later after questions on this ABCD sharing. Okay, moving on to creative. This is a feature quite commonly used for huge brands. Okay, it's really brand safety. Okay, basically what it means is we have more and more video contents that is surfacing on Meta platform. More and more creators are sharing through videos and through reels, Insta stories, and so on. What this does is really setting where your ads will appear before or after. Okay. For instance, if I'm a travel agency, I'm a tour agency selling tour package to say Bali. Okay. I say if I were to place an ad, my ad may appear before or after a video ad, a video content that says about an airline tragedy in Bali. So the context of your ad appearing straight after that tragedy news or before may not be the best for your brand, okay, may do your brand harm. So in those instances, I highly recommend you that we should apply brand safety and suitability like this. Okay, my recommendation is go for standard and limited inventory. Okay, as SME, as business owner, when I started out, I would say I would not give a nut about this at all. Okay, after all, we go for ROI, we go for sales. But as your brand grow, this is quite critical. Okay, you spend a lot of money building your brand, don't get associated with content that will do you harm. Okay, so buy inventory or place your ad inventory whereby it's safer in content. It's not so controversial that will impact your brand image. Okay, at agency, we always opt out of non-brand safe environment. Okay, Meta highly recommend to place ads across their audience network also. Audience network basically means environment that's not Facebook, not Instagram, not Messenger, but other mobile apps or other mobile inventory. We do not exactly know how they will appear and where they will appear. So generally, we would exclude non-Meta environment placement. Okay, if you were to go one step further, you can also implement inventory filter. Okay, for instance, certain topics, certain content, sensitive, mature adults contents that you do not want to appear besides or before and after, you can implement filters. Okay, number 8, creative. Okay, this is something that every brand, every business owner should be implementing, should be using the AI function, okay, as much as possible. sometimes you wonder, is it buy one, get one free better as an ad copy or 50% off 2 items? I would say just try it. Just put in a different creative. Meta will rotate the ad combination, okay? And then you are able to see from the breakdown of your ads manager, right? Which particular ad caption is most engaging, which particular ad caption gets you more sales, and Meta will rotate it towards the best. And with that information, right, you probably can fine tune and reduce your ad variation until you get the winning ad variation in future. Okay, so always, if you are unsure, just put in a different ad creative, different images, black or white works better, put in both. Let Meta automate and find out the best winning assets combination. And creative is something that's very subjective. So within your target audience, there will be subsegment of target audience. Some subsegments will prefer the color black, some segment will prefer the color white. So if you enable put in more images and so on, right, it can then serve the relevant ad combination to your target audience. Okay, towards my last pillar, data. Okay, so one of the things that I personally felt advertisers is not doing enough with Meta is they are not looking into metrics that diagnose on their ad relevancy and creative resonation with the target audience enough. In your Meta Ads Manager, you are able to pull out these 3 metrics. Okay, quality ranking, engagement rate ranking, conversion rate ranking. Okay, these are metrics that will tell you whether your ads creative is getting audience fatigue, or how do your ads creative score against your competitors, who is targeting the same audience. You'll be able to see things like below average, bottom 35, average, above average, and so on. Okay, so double down on your creative. Once you have learned certain pattern, right? Like for instance, okay, you constantly see this few ad creative, the design is always getting above average kind of ranking. You should take note of that and try to reapply those to your future ad creative. Learn what is working for those creative, apply it for your future ad creative. And also I do have a cheat code. If you find that too much of a trouble, previously it works, now I'm not sure. What you do is, if you see your ad creative body is like below average, right? Duplicate your asset, okay? Duplicate your asset, switch off this asset and run a new one. Because when you do that, Meta will reset the score because you start a new asset, a new ad, Meta will start off with a neutral score. Okay, but that is just a short-term plug. The longer-term solution should be you learn what is working for your best creative and you apply the creative learning to your future new creative. Okay, and last but not least, tip number 10. I don't think there's enough usage around rules. Okay, I will highly recommend, especially for those of you who are very lean on marketing team or advertising team, right? Create rules. Okay, create rules. Okay, how it works is you can define rules whereby, say, CPA is below 25%, say CPA is below your $25 rate. Okay, maybe I want to increase the budget by 15%. Since CPA is doing well, okay, I want to increase more budget for that particular time. Okay, or say frequency is too high, I want to reduce the expense for the particular day or particular hour. So create custom rules like this. Okay, create rules, build the rules. It can help you automatically switch on, switch off particular ad, or switch on, pause particular campaign and asset. Okay, a lot of different functions when you start playing into rules. Really use AI, use automation to reduce workload of your team members. And also, personally, I use this to monitor my campaign also. So utilize it if possible. So a recap of the ABCD sharing for audience. Try to implement the parting strategy, target audience whereby they are most engaged, whereby they are most available to go through your marketing content, to go through your landing page, and to take up your offer. Utilize audience exclusion on your competitors, on audiences who recently bought from you, and on audiences who have seen your ads quite a number of times. Okay, bidding. On bidding bracket, choose the right buying objective. Okay, sorry, choose the right campaign objective. Okay, choose the right campaign objective. It will get you the intended results. If you know that you want to secure a certain results, you can try to go for RNF buy instead of auction buy. Okay, that will secure you with more fixed price and less fluctuation that you need to compete with your competitors. Utilize optimization goal. Okay, so set things like your CPC, what's your maximum, okay, your CPL, cost per lead, or CPA, what's your maximum threshold. So set that threshold using optimization goal. Advantage is Meta's AI feature. Test and learn to see it works for your business. Always tie back business results, business insights towards advantage. Sometimes it works for you, sometimes it doesn't. It's because of the context of your business. Okay. Then creative. For creative bracket, we have a brand safety feature. So this feature is getting more and more developed with Meta platform, with more video content. Is paramount that we need to protect our brand safety, especially as your brand grow. You do not want to be associated alongside with ads or creators that might do very radical content that might hurt your brand. And number 8, highly recommend put in multiple versions of creative. If you have 2 different ad copy or 2 different design, you're not sure, just put in both. Some people will like a design A, some people will like design B. So just put in both, let the system optimize towards the best creative to the tools that like the particular each of the creative. And bracket D, data bracket, try to pull out this matrix called ad relevancy. It will tell you whether aesthetic, creative scoring. From there, you can take the necessary optimization. And last but not least, create rules to help you with workflow, reduce your man hours workload. Okay, before I dive into a question, just a quick shout out again. So Emarcity, multiple courses available. For those of you who want to dive in deeper into Meta advertising, if you're still relatively new or still needs a refresher, I would highly recommend digital advertising for business. If you want to understand how does organic and paid come together, I recommend Practical Social Media Strategy, whereby building a strong organic social media strategy and then complement it with a paid advertising. Okay, video content is quite in the trend right now, given the network capabilities. So leveraging video content for your online marketing, if you want to learn more about how to use video content, how to do TikTok advertising, I recommend this course. Okay, questions from my sharing. Okay, any questions?
I want to ask about the Advantage Plus.
Yep.
Yeah, so if we use Advantage Plus, we do need to select the targeting, is it? That means we do need to select the like demography and things like that.
Any AI feature that is in Meta is called Advantage Plus. So I think your particular Advantage Plus is referring to the audience targeting. Yeah, I think the particular functions you see is for the audience targeting function. Yes, but any AI features that you see throughout Meta, right, they will have a label Advantage Plus. That means it's AI enabled.
Okay. So for targeting, if we will just trust Meta that you will get the correct targeting for us, or how do we know? Should we like run for some days first with our targeting, then later switch to Advantage Plus? Or how do you recommend?
I think this question should address to Meta, not me, but I can give my take on it. You can always set up two campaigns, or rather two assets. One that is Advantage switch on, broad targeting, one that has very niche targeting that you has always been doing it. Okay, then you build custom audience or speed testing so that audiences don't overlap one another, and you monitor the results from there.
You mentioned it to build custom audience. You mean they could overlap and then it's like you were like that means you will actually increase your bid because it's like the both campaign fighting each other, right? Is it? Is that what you meant?
So you can build a speed test, or you do a custom audience whereby you exclude audiences who've seen one another ad already, so that they won't.
Okay. Actually, how do you do that? I'm not sure how to do that.
So I think that's where the courses will come in handy.
It was not covered in the course because I took the course already.
Yeah. So this is a more of an advanced.
He never teach us like how to exclude using the custom audience.
Yeah. So whatever I'm sharing here is quite advanced. Unfortunately, we do not have the time to go through this, but I'll recommend you have a look at Google speed testing on Meta. You'll be able to find the setup.
Google speed testing on Meta, is it? Yeah. The word speed testing on
Meta speed testing.
Meta speed testing. Okay, thank you.
Welcome. Okay. Earlier there was a questions on sales conversion tracking for offline B2B sales, right? It really depends what your B2B sales is. Your B2B sales, is it over the counter? Is it you have a customer reference code? Because you can upload offline data to try and match your customer Facebook behavior. For instance, for your CRM, if you have your customer email address, name, date of birth, handphone numbers, and expenditure spend, with all those data, you can upload back to Meta. Meta can then try to match what is the conversion that is as a result of your ads. Okay. Any other questions?
Yeah, don't be shy. I mean, a good chance really to ask YS here if you are currently running some campaigns, facing some difficulties. Yeah, feel free to ask.
Okay. If not, I hope the sharing has been useful. Apologize again, we can't really go through hands-on on certain of the settings, but what I've done with the slides, in each of the slides, I have put in the relevant settings screenshots that's retrieved from the Meta Ads Manager. Okay, and I hope the tips will help you with your Meta advertising. Thank you.